Welcome to my channel. Okay guys, today we are doing a quick little hairstyle on my baby. I actually washed her hair 2 days ago, moisturized it, added some oil, and then put it in a bun because I was tired. And listen, sometimes washing, detangling, moisturizing, and styling all in one day is just not happening. The hair was clean, the hair was moisturized. Mama did enough. So today I'm finally styling it. Now, this is not her back to school hairstyle because she doesn't start school until 2 weeks from now. I'll be taking this style down and doing her actual school hairstyle closer to her first day. This is just something quick, cute, and protective to keep her hair put away in the meantime. For this style, I'm doing 9 cornrows with a little heart on the side. And y'all, this is my very first time trying to braid a heart. So, if that heart comes out looking like it's been through something, mind your business. We're learning over here. But while I'm doing her hair, school has definitely been on my mind. As you guys can see, I have a spray bottle with me while I'm blow drying her hair before I go in with the blow dryer brush. I'm finger combing each section first. I like doing this because I don't want to take the brush and immediately start pulling through knots and tangles. If I feel any tangles with my finger, I can slow down, separate them gently, and work through them before bringing in the brush. Especially with kids' hair, we're not fighting with the hair. If the brush isn't going through easily, I am not going to force it. You'll also see me lightly spraying the hair when I feel like it needs a little moisture. I'm not soaking it down because obviously we're trying to dry and stretch it, but I also don't want to work with hair that feels extremely dry. And another little tip, when you're detangling, try to work from the ends upward instead of starting at the roots and dragging every knot all the way down. Finger detangling first gives me a chance to feel what's going on with her hair before I introduce the blow dryer brush. Once I feel like that section is ready, then I'll go in with my blow dryer. Now, my goal here is not to get her hair super straight. I'm just trying to get it nicely stretched. Stretching her hair makes the next part of this hairstyle so much easier for me. I can see my sections better. I can create cleaner parts, and I have a little more length to work with when I start cornrowing. And y'all know I love me a crisp hairstyle. What? Wait, you guys don't know that. I'm just letting y'all know. I want those parts clean, but I also want to talk about heat because I don't use a blow dryer on her hair every time I do her hair. I probably do this about once a month or so, and sometimes even less depending on the hairstyle. I'm very mindful about how much heat I'm putting on her hair because frequent and excessive heat can dry the hair out and contribute to damage and breakage. I've also heard so many people talk about how they felt like their hair started thinning or breaking when they were using too much heat. Now, that doesn't mean heat is automatically the reason somebody's hair is thinning. There can be so many different reasons for that, but it definitely made me more mindful about how often I'm using heat and how much heat I'm using, especially because this is a child's hair. I don't need to have the blow dryer on the highest setting, burning her scalp just to get her hair stretched. We're stretching the hair, we're not cooking it. So, taking my time, I'm moving the dryer through the hair and I'm paying attention to how her hair feels. And if you use heat on your own hair or your child's hair, just be mindful. You don't have to be afraid of your blow dryer, but you also don't have to use it every single time you're doing a hairstyle. Now, as I finish stretching each section, you'll notice I'm putting the hair into these little bento style sections. I'm doing that for a reason. I just spent all that time tangling and stretching this hair. I'm not about to throw everything back together and let it tangle again. No, ma'am. So once one section is finished, I twist it up and keep it separated. I'm also using my clips to hold the other sections down and out of the way. This is something I highly recommend when you're doing your child's hair. Section that hair. Please don't stress yourself out trying to control the whole head all at once. Sometimes doing hair feels difficult simply because there's hair everywhere. You're trying to find your part. One section is mixing into another section. Your child is moving. Your child is talking. Oh, child, I know how it be. Now, everybody's irritated. Make your life easier. Separate the hair. Clip down what you're not working on. Focus on one section at a time. And then move on to the next. That's exactly what I'm doing here. And while we're talking about making hair day easier, I also don't believe in doing too much unnecessary manipulation. I don't like playing in her hair every 2 or 3 days. Once I give her a nice protective hairstyle, I want that hairstyle to last. Usually, I'll keep her hair in a kid friendly protective style for around 2 3 weeks, depending on how it's looking, and more importantly, how her hair and scalp are feeling. Because I'm not keeping her hairstyle in just because it still looks cute. If her scalp isn't happy, the hairstyle has to go. And that's another thing I've learned from doing her hair. You have to learn the person whose hair you're actually working with. Her scalp does not like a lot of tension. So, although I absolutely love a crisp hairstyle, I don't believe that crisp has to mean tight. Those are not the same thing. I can take my time with my parts. I can make my braids neat. I can make the finished hairstyle look polished without pulling that baby's forehead all the way back. Please be mindful of how tight you're making your own hair and especially children's hair. If somebody finishes your hair and your scalp is throbbing, you can't sleep comfortably, or you feel like you need to take pain medicine just to tolerate your hairstyle, that is not the goal here. Beauty does not need to hurt that bad. For me, keeping her hair healthy is always going to come before making a hairstyle look perfect. And I also want her to enjoy getting her hair done. Now, don't get me wrong. Am I going to tell her, girl, stop moving? Absolutely. Because I cannot make a straight part when your head is going east, west, north, and south. But I don't want hair day to be something she automatically associates with pain. I want her to grow up understanding that her hair deserves patience and care. And honestly, these little hair days are also bonding time for us. We talk, we watch movies together. Sometimes she's telling me stories that make absolutely no sense, but I'm listening anyway. And mama gets to take care of her baby. Now, this particular hairstyle is just something quick that I'm doing after her wash day. This is not her first day of school hairstyle. She doesn't start school until 2 weeks from now. So before then, I'm going to take this style down and we're going to do something special for her first day. And whew, I'm not even going to get started on that yet because I don't know if I'm ready. Her dad and I have homeschooled her, so this is going to be her very first time actually going to school. 1 minute, I'm super excited. I'm thinking about her making friends, learning new things, coming home and telling us about her day. And then the next minute, my brain goes, hold on, you mean I'm supposed to drop her off and then leave? Excuse me? So, yeah, baby girl might be ready, but mama is still loading. But we'll talk more about that as we get into this hairstyle we are doing, because right now we have some braiding to do. Now that her hair is detangled, stretched and sectioned, I am ready to start creating the actual style. We're doing 9 cornrows with a heart on the side, and this is actually my very first time attempting a heart with hair. So if it comes out looking like a heart, we're going to celebrate. And if it comes out looking like somebody's kidney, we're still going to celebrate because mama tired. Let's get into these braids. At this point, I'm still working my way through these braids, and this is where patience really comes in. I know sometimes when you're getting toward the end of a hairstyle, you start getting tired and you're ready to just get it done. But I try not to let being tired make me start rushing through her hair because those last few braids deserve the same amount of care as the first few. I'm still making sure I'm separating the hair properly, keeping my parts as clean as I can, and most importantly, watching the amount of tension I'm putting on her scalp. And you can see that I'm taking my time as I'm fitting the hair into each cornrow. I want the braid to look neat, but I also want her to be able to move her face when I'm finished. Okay? Because sometimes you see a fresh hairstyle and that forehead is shining. Baby can't even raise an eyebrow. No, ma'am, not over here. And another thing, don't feel like you have to rush just because your child starts getting impatient. Give them little breaks if they need them. Let them stretch, give them a snack, put on their favorite show. Because we're trying to make hair day something they can tolerate and hopefully even enjoy. Not something they dread every time they see mama pull out the comb. And as I am getting closer to finishing, I'm also checking the braids I've already completed. I'm looking at how everything is laying, making sure nothing feels too tight, and making sure I'm happy with the overall shape of the hairstyle. Remember, neat doesn't have to mean painful. That's probably going to be one of the biggest things you hear me say on this channel when I'm doing her hair. Healthy hair first, comfort first, then we can worry about making it cute. Because if the hairstyle is beautiful, but she's uncomfortable the entire time she's wearing it, what did we really accomplish? And I'm not going to lie, by this point, Mama's ready to be done too. My arms are tired. She's ready to get up. I'm ready to get up. Everybody's looking at these few last braids like, come on. But we're almost there. And I'm actually really happy with how this style is turning out, especially because this is my first time incorporating that little hard design. Every time I do her hair, I feel like I'm learning something new too. And that's another reason I wanted to bring these videos to the channel. I'm not just going to show you a finished hairstyle and say, look what I did. I want you guys to actually see the process, the sectioning, the detangling, the stretching, the braiding, the mistakes, the learning, all of it, because that's real life. And hopefully, watching me do it gives another mama an idea for her little one's hair, or gives you the confidence to try something you've never done before. And finally, we're getting that last braid finished. Look at that. 9 cornrows later, our first little heart attempt later, and approximately 500 times of me saying, keep your head still, baby. We made it. And remember, this is our quick protective style for now. Before she goes to school, we'll be doing her official first day of school here. And you guys are definitely coming with us for that one. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to support my channel. And comment below what hairstyle you think I should try on her next. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.